What's up guys, Gibberish HS here today, and we got the new setup. What do you guys think? I like it a lot more, it's a lot better I feel like, so really excited to be getting into this. It's gonna be a lot of fun. So yeah, let's get into it. This is a card review for Descent of Dragons. We're gonna be going over like 17 cards, so it's gonna be a longer video than normal, but hopefully we'll get through it quickly and we'll kind of go through some of these because some of these don't have much really to talk about. So let's get into it. The first one's going to be Stowaway. It's a 5-cost 4/4 rare for Rogue. Battlecry, if there are cards in your deck that didn't start there, draw 2 of them. So this card's obviously very strong for Rogue. Just different cards like Toggle Wiggle Scheme, Waxadread, different cards like that are really going to push for this card to be good. Academic Espionage is another card that can be very strong for this. So I have no doubt that this is going to be a really good deck and one that's going to be very interesting. And I think it's just going to be a card that rogues will run. I think it's a good card. It's cheap. It's not an epic. It's rare. And it's just a good card. So I see this in several rogue decks. Definitely a 4 out of 5. Next is what people are saying is a new Keleseth, a 4-cost 5/4 Frizz Kindle Roost. She is a neutral legendary, and it says Battlecry reduce the cost of all dragons in your deck by 2. This is pretty major because all the dragons we've seen, which has made me very happy, have been almost crazy good. We have some small ones that haven't been like whoa anything to talk about. But most of these are really strong and really good. So this is going to just make those cards even cheaper and make them better. And cards with like Shaman, with Quest Shaman, your Battlecry Trigger twice, that's more than worth it. So this is really strong. The reason why people are considering this the Keleseth, I think, is because it is a cheaper neutral legendary that has an effect over all your minions. This is very similar, and I like it a lot. I think of it more as like kind of like an Emperor Tharzan over like all dragons, but I do understand why people are considering it to this. So definitely like it. Very good card. 5 out of 5. Next is Depth Charge. It's a 1-cost 0/5 rare for neutral, and it says at the start of your turn, deal 5 damage to all minions. This card has been getting good ratings on all over the board, but I don't see it actually being played. The problem is that, I mean, first of all, you get Doomsayer, so I guess if you want to run a cheaper Doomsayer. But Doomsayer is good because it's at 2, and you may think 1's good too, right? But you're sacrificing Doomsayer to put this in here, and it's not as good as Doomsayer. It doesn't destroy all minions, it just deals 5 damage. So I don't really see a situation besides Arena where this would be a very good card. But an Arena, I think it would be a very strong card. So it is a good card. I just think Doomsayer is a lot better. So I'm going to give it a 3 out of 5. 5-cost 6/5 Epic Tentacle Menace. Battlecry, each player draws a card, swap their costs. Now this card has been getting around, I've been looking around, it's been getting around 3 stars. And I actually think that's a little under. I would give it more to 4 stars. And the reason why is that this card has a lot of potential when it comes to combos. And all these Battlecry cards, I love just thinking of what can you do with Quest Shaman with them and stuff like that. And I think of something more like with a big deck. I'm a big fan of late game decks with cool combos and just big minions. That's how I like to play because I find it the most fun. So if I could put this in a deck maybe where I could play this and maybe I can get my N'Zoth from 10 to 5, that'd be pretty cool. So something to think about. There are possibilities with it, but I'm gonna get a 4 out of 5. Excuse me. Alright, next is Bronze Explorer, which is a very Hearthstone-y card if you ask me. It's a 3-cost 2/3 common for Paladin, and it has lifesteal and says Battlecry, discover a dragon. And it's a dragon. So this card is it's just very typical Hearthstone card to me. I like it, I think it's good. I'm gonna give it 4 out of 5. It will probably be in most dragon decks, to be honest. It's that good. Next is Chrono Breaker. Chrono Breaker is a 5 cost for 5 rare for priest. Death Rattle, if you're holding a dragon, deal 3 damage to all enemy minions. So this is very good in any deck, I feel like. If you're running a dragon, play this card in it. It's good again. It has good enough stats to hold up against its own, but it's also really strong against cards against Zoolock, Token Dread, which we'll see looks like it's going to be really strong in this expansion, and things like that. And if you think about it, we did see that one card, the 4 cost 2 1 beast for Hunter during Frozen Throne, the bat that deals 2 damage to all enemy minions. So this is just like that, but it has better stats and just costs 1 more. Only condition is you need to hold a dragon, which Priest is already known for doing dragons, so I'm going to give it 5 out of 5. Really good card. Mindflayer Kaharj is a 3 cost 3/3 legendary for priest. Battlecry, choose an enemy minion, Death Rattle, summon a new copy of it. This card, I think, has a lot of potential. My problem with this card is I think it's just, I don't know. I feel like there are better options, and it seems a little underpowered compared to what we've been seeing. Maybe they didn't want it to be too crazy because priest is getting a Galakrond. Maybe that's why. I don't know, but it is something to think about. When it comes to this, I do think that it's a little weaker compared. But I do think it has a lot of potential, and if Death Rattle Priest does become a thing, maybe not this expansion, but next expansion, it could be very, very strong. So I want to give it 3 out of 5, but it has the potential to be 4. Next is a hunter weapon, which makes me so happy. It's called Stormhammer. 3 cost 3/2 epic. I'm definitely going to craft this card. Doesn't lose durability while you control a dragon. So this is a card that is just so good. It's throwing cards like Fury Axe out of the woods, and I personally think it's better than Eagle Horn Bow. So I think this card is really strong, and it's going to be a really good way for hunters to just go face if they want, or go for control. Either way you want to, I feel like this is a really strong card. 5 out of 5. Next card is Cobalt Spellkin, 5 cost 3/5 dragon, rare. Battlecry, add 2 1 cost spells from your class to your hand. This card is very good. Not much to say about it besides the fact I do think it'd be good in some classes like Mage and Rogue and those classes that like cheap spells. Besides that, I don't actually see it being too much play, but I think it has potential, and Arena's gonna love this card. Next is a 3 cost 2/3 warrior card, Evil Quartermaster. It's a common. Battlecry, add a lackey to your hand, gain 3 armor. We are supposed to get a new lackey, so very interesting on that point. I think this is just a good card, to be honest. The gain 3 armor is pretty strong with the lackey, so I mean, there's not really much to say about it, but I do think this can be run into a good warrior deck. So 4 out of 5. Next is Scion of Ruin. This card's crazy. 3 cost 3/2 dragon, rush, battlecry. If you've invoked twice, summon 2 copies of this. So this card is crazy. It's just so crazy. It reminds me a lot of the 4 cost 3/2 with Reborn that we got just last expansion. So this is like that, but way better. If you're invoking, this card just needs to go in your warrior deck. It is really strong and great for board control. And even if you don't want board control, a 3 mana for what is it, 9/6 stat is crazy. So, and it's a dragon, so you can make this cheaper. Crazy. 5 out of 5. Next is a very interesting card, which I think is very strong, but I think it won't see a lot of play because it's just it's very subjective. It's a 5 cost 5/5 common neutral, and it's called Plate Breaker. Battlecry, destroy your opponent's armor. So the problem with this card is that it's really strong. Warriors can ramp up armor really fast, but this card doesn't really have anything against other classes. And the second problem is it doesn't really have anything to really invoke you to put it in a deck. It's not a dragon, so if it was a dragon, you could at least put it into a deck as a dragon. If it was a mech, you could at least discover it maybe through like Dr. Boom. Just different things like that. It doesn't have like an origin of a minion type, and so without that, I feel like it's gonna be a lot harder to see play. Possibly in arena, just because 5 cost 5/5 is meh, but you never know. So I'm gonna give it 2 out of 5. I think it has potential though to be more. I just don't see it. It's just very hard to get it in there. Next is a 2 cost 3/2 Worm Rest Purifier. It's an epic for neutral. Battlecry transform all neutral cards in your deck into random cards from your class. I actually like this card. I don't think it's gonna see too much play. If it is, more as a meme style. But that being said, I think rogues and just different aggressive decks are gonna like this. And I say aggressive decks because if you have a bunch of cards where a bunch of neutral minions, any deck like that, that's not going to be as good. Like, let's say you're playing an aggressive deck and you didn't kill them after turn 7 and you're falling behind, this card could possibly turn that. So I'm going to give it 3 out of 5. It probably won't see much play, but a cool idea for a card. Next is going to be Agoru the Might Tree. He's a taunt battle cry. For the rest of the game, your treants have 1/1. He costs 7 and he has 5/10 stats. So very interesting legendary, and I actually really like this card. The more I look at it, the more I have decided that this card is really good. I say this because just looking at it, the stats are pretty good. I'm surprised it's not a dragon, but I mean, whatever. But the thing is that Treants haven't seen too much play, but different cards can help you push for that, and we have seen Treant decks before. I don't know. It's very interesting. It's going to be just, like I said, interesting to see how this is going to go. So, I'm going to give it 4 out of 5. I just would like to see different types of stuff. Next is Tree Enforcement, which I love the name for that. It's a 1-cost druid spell. Rare. Choose one, give a minion +2 health and taunt, or summon a 2/2 Treant. Is this good? This is pretty good. Quest Druid's gonna like this, and Treant Druid's gonna like this, so pretty good card, 4 out of 5. And finally, I saved the craziest and, in my opinion, almost the most pro card that we've seen that isn't Galakrond. And maybe that, and maybe Frizz Kindle Roost as well. This card is called Embiggen. It's a 0-cost druid spell. It's an epic, and it says give all minions in your deck +2/+2. They cost 1 more, up to 10. This card to me is just so crazy. I don't know if it's just me. I don't know if I'm the only one who thinks this, but when I see this card, and when I first saw this card, I immediately went, what? I couldn't believe it. A card that buffs all your minions 2/2. Token Druid, guys. This is going to make Token Druid the number 2 deck in the game. I have no doubt about that. Just the fact it's so strong. Like, it's unbelievable to me that they did this. Like, I'm not even mad. I'm just so surprised because giving all your minions in your deck 2/2, I could understand that. That's fine. But we have cards that kind of do that for other classes, and they're way more costly, okay? We have the 3-cost pre-spell that buffs all your minions, I believe. It's either 3/3 or 2/2. And the cost is you lose 3 mana crystals. So you fall back way more than you should in a game like that. So that's the first problem, alright? So, like, it's not that this card isn't, like, it's just crazy that it's 0 to me. And, like, you do have a cost, which is your cost costs 1 more. But that doesn't matter. Paying 1 more mana to play a card that has +2/+2 stats, especially if you play this card, like, on turn, I don't know, 4. At that point, you can start playing more minions easily. Now, I will say that since it is a spell, it says all the minions in your deck, so you can't like play this, and unless you play this and then play a card to draw more cards, That is something that I realized. But like, even your spells don't cost one more either. It's only the minions that you buff. So this card is crazy to me. I think it's really strong, and it's kind of crazy that they are going this far. I wouldn't be surprised if this card was nerfed to maybe 1 or 2 mana. Well, there you go, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video and all the things, and all that good stuff. And if you don't mind, please leave a like and subscribe and all that stuff. And I will try to be making more card review videos. So let me know if you've been enjoying them. And check out my first ever media review for a TV show. It's The Mandalorian, why it's amazing. I really would appreciate if you guys want to watch it. I had a lot of fun making it. I was a little concerned doing something that wasn't game related, but I think it was a good choice. So I hope you guys have a good day. See you guys in the next video. Bye!